Good evening. Welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles. We have a caller, looks like has been waiting patiently. Let's see who it is. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, it's Mark Meridian.
Oh, hey, Mark. How are you?
Okay, how you doing?
Doing well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if Hillbilly's listening tonight. I hope he is, and I hope he calls in and lets me know he's all right. I heard him on Charles' show today. I didn't get to hear what I was talking about though.
Okay.
So I hope he'll call in and let us know he's doing all right.
Oh, well, maybe he will. I hope so.
And and then I seen a conference with Sam Page today. Did you see that on Star News?
I did not see that.
It was another deputy with a sex crime or something.
Yeah, now that I heard about. I saw that in the news.
Oh, okay. And then yeah, I was gonna tell you something, but I can't tell you about over the air. Can I call you after your show?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. All right. Thanks again.
Thanks, Mark. Welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles. Happy to have you with us tonight. We have a phone number up there that you can call and an email address. It's keneccleslive@gmail.com. Before I do anything else, I want to mention this. It's a stew. And thanks to Mr. Ridgway, I'm not Mr. Ridgway, thanks to Mr. Draper for sending this in. It's in Ridgway, the stew is. Um, it's on December 6th from noon until 2 p.m. December 6th, noon until 2 p.m. The stew is $10 a quart, and it's a benefit stew. It's to help a lady named Pam Chilton to help with her medical expenses due to the unexpected loss of her husband, Dale. You can pick up your stew between noon and 2, as I said, on December 6th. The address is 39 Knight Drive, Ridgway. But if you're going from Eden, you don't have to quite go all the way to Ridgway. You'll need to refer to your phone for the precise directions to get there. But I can tell you it's on the old Leaksville Road, which a long time ago was the main road between Leaksville and Ridgway. But it's just a few miles. It's not a long drive. Check your phone for 39 Knight Drive to find out how to get there. Again, it's $10 a quart between noon and 2 on December 6th. Hi, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please. Hey, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken.
Good evening.
I want to apologize for yesterday.
Apologize for what? To who?
Well, I could have waited and called about the Masked Singer tonight if I should have.
Oh, well, that's all right. No harm done.
Well, I didn't want to get into any ill feelings in the call in.
Well, no, let's avoid ill feelings at all costs.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't talk to my lady tonight. She's probably a little busy working.
All right. She is. Are they having a clean up from the storm, or is that all taken care of?
I don't know because I didn't ask her. We were talking about important things.
All right. Fine. What would be an example of an important thing? Just curious.
Adult stuff.
Adult stuff. Well, certainly, I wouldn't. We wouldn't have any interest in that. So we'll just let that pass. But I hope you get to talk to her tomorrow.
Oh well, I don't mind. I understand, but we catching a cold.
Bless you.
Thank you. Well, I've already had the flu shot, so that's right.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh yes. But most likely we have a good time texting, talking. I know. I let her know how my day going. Oh, I slipped and fell at work.
Oh no! How'd you slip?
Well, I was coming out the freezer and didn't. Well, I normally grab onto one of the racks in the freezer to come out.
Yeah.
Failed. Yeah, I failed to do that. But nothing's broken. I went to get X-rays. The only thing I got a bruised ego.
So are we talking about that walk-in freezer where it's like 3 degrees?
Well, yeah. We got a brand new freezer and a new unit in there.
Yeah. But it's
It
3
feels-
degrees, right?
Well, you feel like you're in Alaska.
I know, because when I worked at Hardee's, we kept ours at 3 degrees, and you didn't want to stay in there too long.
Well, it don't bother me during the winter. I mean, during the summer, but I kind of wrap up during the winter.
What in the summer you go in there in a Speedo?
No comment.
I hope not. I don't even imagine that.
Don't imagine it. Don't even think about it.
I mean, even in the summer, it's still 3 degrees in that freezer. That shouldn't be any difference between summer and winter.
Well, they call me an Eskimo anyway.
All right. Well, you can't help what people call you.
I know it, not that. Well, I heard Hillbilly today. He didn't sound too good, but I hope he gets better. He's a nice caller, and I really respect the guy. And, I hope to hear more from him. I hope he gets better and anything and everything he does. I hope the Lord Jesus blesses him to get better and all that.
Oh, I absolutely. Amen to that. I hope he's okay.
Well, I hope he is too, and I just wanted to send that out to him. I hope he feels better. And to any of my rivals.
Your rivals?
Any rival in the racing thing.
Well, I only know of one.
Well, I'm just sending a warning out to everybody.
Okay.
I am going to dominate the next series.
Okay, well, that's pretty easy to say this far away from the first race, but we'll see how things go.
Well, January will be here before you know it.
Yeah,
and
but
July,
there's no race in January though.
Yeah, but see, July 31st will be here sooner than I hope so.
Oh, Jill, that's your retirement date.
Yeah, it'll be the end of the month. I'll still have to do the end of the month, count the store with the boss for the last time.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll give you a big party and a grand send-off.
Well, my godchildren are going to throw me a party.
Good for them.
Yeah, and they're happy that I'm retiring.
Maybe if you talk to Charles, maybe you get that party live on Star News.
No, we're not going to do that. We're just going with a nice party. If we put it on, we'll put it on Facebook.
All right. Well, that's fair. And I know you're looking forward to it. And thanks for calling.
Oh, bye, sir.
Good night. Fell in the freezer, or fell out of the freezer today, but he is not seriously injured. Phone line is open at that number. It is keneccleslive@gmail.com. That's the email address, and you can give us a call or send us an email, whichever works best for you. This emailer wants to know, how come ESPN is not on YouTube TV? I've been turning on YouTube TV to watch basketball on ESPN, but ESPN's not there anymore, says the emailer. What happened to it? What happened to ESPN on YouTube TV? It'll be back probably at some point. No, they're having a spat. YouTube TV is having a spat with ABC, and what is it? It's ABC, Hulu, and ESPN, and Disney. Disney might be I don't know if Disney's there or not. Disney might be involved in. Anyhow, it's one of those things, it happens all the time where the provider and the program creator cannot get together on money. ABC, ESPN, whoever all is in that group, they want more money from YouTube TV, and YouTube TV is not offering them as much money as they want. So that's how come ESPN is not on YouTube TV right now. Now they'll get it figured out, I guess. I mean, they always do. So wait patiently. And maybe before basketball season is over, they'll get ESPN back on there so you can see the ESPN games. And oh yeah, the ACC network is also involved in that too. So there's basketball on ESPN and on the ACC network. And there's one of the other the Southeast Conference network also is off because of that. But they'll figure it out. I think they're like $4 million apart now on the fees. You know, they want over here, they want this, and over here they're offering that. And about $4 million apart based on what I read. So they ought to be able to settle that in a while. So there you are. There's the answer to your question. That's why ESPN's not on YouTube TV, but it'll come back. I'm pretty sure it'll come back. Another email here says, Ken, why don't you call Mr. Draper? If Mr. Draper does not want to call in, why don't you call him? You must have his phone number. Well, yeah, I have Mr. Draper's phone number, but Mr. Draper right now does not wish to be on the air. And it's certainly not our place to call him up and put him on the air. So that's fine. Mr. Draper's is still there. He's fine. As I mentioned, he sent us the information on that stew we were talking about a little while ago. So Mr. Draper's okay. And one of these nights, we'll hear from Mr. Draper again. I expect. Excuse me. Excuse me again. I haven't had my flu shot yet. You know, in radio, we have this thing you call a cough switch, that you can kill your mic when you cough. I don't have that. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing, Mike Ken?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Yeah, it seems as though, when Biden and Kamala was running for office, had plenty of Republican callers calling in telling everybody how bad the situation was, but the last 12 months, it don't seem like the Republicans want to talk in and praise Mr. Trump anymore. I wonder why.
Well, I don't know. I think Mr. Trump's supporters are still behind him as much as they ever were. The folks who are kind of in the middle, there's a bunch of Republicans on one end, and there's a bunch of Democrats on the other end, and then there's a bunch of people in the middle who can go either way and go back and forth. Maybe those folks may not be as enthusiastic about President Trump as they were, and maybe those are the ones who were calling.
It could be. Very well could be. I noticed on the news today that they said that Trump was in the Epstein files finally.
Well, a couple of things happened today. The Democrats got some emails, some of Jeffrey Epstein's emails, and they released 3 of them today. And then after the Democrats released 3 emails, then the Republicans, and we're talking about in Congress, then the Republicans released, I think the number was 20,000 emails that the Republicans released in answer to the Democrats' 3. I don't think anybody's had time to read the 20,000 yet, since they just released them this afternoon. But the 3 the Democrats released, there was one in there between Epstein and I guess it was the author, Michael Wolff, who wrote a
Right.
biography of him. And there's one in there, I can't quote it, I don't have it in front of me, but it said something to the effect of Epstein was saying, talking about Trump, and used the phrase, Trump knows about the girls, or something like that. And that's what it said. And then there was another one from Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, where Epstein said something like, well, the dog that hasn't barked yet is Trump. He spent hours in my house with one of the victims. And I don't remember what was in the third email, but those are the two I remember. And that's what it was as far as what was released today.
I also heard too that, and it's pretty much verified that he spent time with the girls, but what I can't understand, Ken, is regardless of which side you're on, Republican, Democrat, Independent, or whatever, if anybody can uphold anybody, no matter who it is, Trump or anybody else, if they can condone that kind of treatment of young girls being raped or molested in any shape, form, or fashion, how can they sleep at night if they can overlook something that bad?
Well, nobody should condone anything like that. I mean, I think we can all agree on that point. And let's make sure that we're not mischaracterizing these emails. The one that said where Epstein was saying the dog that hasn't barked yet is Trump. He spent hours in my house with, and then it said victim. It didn't include the victim's name. In one of the emails that the Republicans released, somebody has read a few of them. One of the emails the Republicans released, it said, in that email, the girl that Epstein is referring to is Virginia Jeffrey. I think that's how you pronounce it, Virginia Jeffrey. And Virginia Jeffrey has said that she never has said that as far as she knows, Trump was never involved in anything illegal, even though they were in Epstein's house. So, those two kind of neutralize each other, at least based on what we know. And we don't really know a whole lot yet. And then the one about where Epstein said Trump knows about the girls, there isn't any context there. We don't know what girls he may or may not be referring to. We know Trump was mad. At least he says he was mad because Epstein had hired some of the girls who worked at Mar-a-Lago away. And Trump has said he was mad about that. And, he could have been referring to those when he said Trump knows about the girls. I mean, we don't know.
Right.
And it's probably not wise to rush to a conclusion when we don't really know the context of all of this.
True. That's so true. Y'all was talking about last night, the special treatment that Ghislaine Maxwell was getting.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things you didn't mention was the warden for that facility where she's being held at is helping do her paperwork to be commuted from that charge.
I thought I mentioned them. I may have overlooked that. I thought I mentioned it, but yeah, that's in there. That they've got prison staff helping her fill out her commutation request, and the warden is one of the people helping her. And yeah, I'd call that special treatment.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I heard somebody say today that she was sent to prison for 20 years for Epstein's behavior, and then they turn around and give her a puppy. I mean, how far-fetched is that, man? I'm telling you, she's just getting all kind of special treatment, in my opinion. I don't think she should ever been moved or even questioned by Todd Blanche or any of the rest of them.
Well, I don't think I don't think that's just your opinion. I have not spoken to anybody, Democrat or Republican or anybody else, who thinks that she ought to be in that club-fed prison having guests with computers and prison staff assigned basically to be her servants. And I don't know anybody who agrees with that.
I don't either, Ken. I mean, well, I know some, but I just can't see how they do agree with it. But another thing too, Ken, pardons. You know, Trump, he pardoned, what was it, 76, 77 people early in the week.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and some of these people that he pardoned were doing the false slate of electors during the election. I mean, how can anybody say when he went to Washington he was going to drain the swamp when he's pardoning all the catfish or whatever? You know, I just don't get that.
Well, unfortunately, it's politics.
Yep.
And we shouldn't expect, well, no, we should expect politics to be run in an ethical and transparent way. We ought to be able to expect that, but I don't expect it. And nothing ever surprises me in politics.
No, that horse left the barn a long time ago, I think.
I'm afraid it did.
Yeah. All right, Ken, thanks for taking my call. I really enjoy your show.
Thanks for calling. Good to hear from you. Phone line is open up there, right up there. And the email address is keneccleslive@gmail.com. You can give us a call or send us an email. We'd love to hear from you either way on this edition of Star Talk. Again, what's going to happen with trying to get all of the Epstein files released? Once the House is back in session, I read that they've got enough votes to force a vote. They've got enough votes to force a vote on requiring the Justice Department to just go ahead and release the Epstein files. Well, it looks like they do. If 218 in the House vote for that discharge, then that means that wouldn't require them to release the files, but it would require them to have a vote on whether or not to release the files. And then that would require everybody in the House to go on the public record, voting whether to keep the files secret as they are now, just being released in bits and pieces, or to go ahead and release the files in their entirety. They would all have to stand up in the light of day and say, I oppose it or I support it, if the discharge petition passes. Now, the president has been busy the last few days. 3 of the Republicans who have signed on for that discharge petition, or 2 of them in particular, are Lauren Boebert of Colorado and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the third one whose name escapes me at the moment. I'll think of it in a second. Anyway, the president has had 2 of them at the White House, trying to persuade them to remove their names from the discharge petition. If he can get just one of them to take their name, to retract their signature from that discharge petition, then they will be unable to force a vote on releasing the Epstein files. To this point, none of them, Nancy Mace is the other. To this point, none of them have given any indication that they're going to change their minds and retract their signatures from the petition. But the president only needs to be able to get one of them to do that, and that would prevent the vote on releasing the files. So we don't know how that's going to turn out. The vote probably could happen. Vote could happen within just a few days. So again, a lot of politics going on in Washington as the president tries to stop that from passing. But as it stands right now, it looks like the discharge petition will pass. Again, that doesn't mean the files will be released. It just means they will have to have an open vote on whether or not to release the files. So that's where that one stands. Ken, tell me again when the Christmas parade is. I want to make sure I have my calendar open. Well, if you're talking about Reidsville, it's November 23rd. If you're talking about Martinsville, and you could be, I don't know. If you're talking about Martinsville, it is November 22nd. Martinsville on the 22nd, Reidsville on the 23rd. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Ken.
Yes.
Why would he attempt to stop the vote if he
Well,
wasn't
I don't
guilty?
know. I don't know.
I mean, it's logical. Why you gonna do some arm twisting and everything like that if you have nothing to hide? And I mean, you innocent. You know what I mean? They are looking very guilty from the actions that they're taking. Cause Johnson, he put it off as long as he can, and he still continue. You know what I mean? So
Well,
they making themselves look. They're not by trying to stop the will of the people. The
well,
people
I don't
have
know
asked it.
what the motivation is, but it is true. It's undeniably true that people
Yeah.
are going to draw a particular conclusion from this, whether it's whether accurate conclusion or not. It's the conclusion a lot of people are going to come to.
Yeah, and see, now that it's been exposed about the treatment that Madam Maxwell is receiving, then the White House can step in and do something about that, because she wasn't granted this treatment until she met with the administration when they came out. You
No,
remember that?
that's when it happened, after she had her interview with Todd Blanche.
So if they started that parental treatment, they could stop it. It's looking awful stingy, but and I'm open-minded enough to think that there's some Democrats in there also. They had said that old Headset name was mentioned several times in these papers, and
Well,
so no matter what a Democrat, anyone that views children like that for the pleasure of any of them that participated, that they should be punished, and they should be revealed to the public, so the public know who they voting for and who representing them.
well, I can't argue with that. Yeah, we all are entitled to know. Everybody's entitled to know.
Yeah. And did you see his interview with that news?
No,
He
I
said he
didn't
had
see
to.
that.
Okay, he said he had to rethink his H-1 visa, and because he said America didn't have the talent for the job he's creating.
I didn't. No, I did not hear that. Didn't
Yeah,
see that
and
or hear it.
yeah, Miss Ingram was, and then what she said. No, it was requesting $100,000 for visa. Did you hear?
Yeah, it got pretty pricey there.
Yeah. I don't know if he's gonna drop the price or what,
I
but
don't know.
if that
Don't know what to say about
the
that 'cause I
job,
didn't hear it.
said the job that he's creating, that he's gonna need some foreign tax too. So where this is going, soon the shoe will drop. And enjoy your show, Ken.
Well,
You have
thanks
a
for
nice
calling.
weekend.
Thanks for calling.
Okay.
Good to hear from you. Phone line is open. There's phone number up there. The email address is keneckleslive@gmail.com. Hey, Ken, this is Bubba. Hey, oh no, this is not Bubba. let me start over and get this right. Hey, Ken, is Bubba going to leave NASCAR and go race in Australia, or is all this just smoke and mirrors? I don't know. I don't know, but there's a report around, and maybe you've heard this, that he's going to Australia to race. Now, that's all I know. I don't know if there's any substance to that. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how much money you can make in Australia racing. I guess you can do okay. Probably not as much money as you can make here. But who knows? But I have heard that. It may be. I mean, there are a whole lot of things that may be that we don't know about. It may be that he feels he would have a good chance to win a lot of races in Australia. Maybe he has a situation there where he thinks he'd be in a better competitive spot. Maybe somebody in Australia is offering him a ton of money, maybe more money than he's getting from 23XI. I have no idea. It should be interesting. I imagine in the next few days we'll be hearing more about that. But right now, as far as I know right now, it's just rumor and speculation, as far as I know. Ken, I read those emails today that the Democrats released, and I think I have to say what you said. There's not anything in those emails that proves anything about Donald Trump or about anything else. I think we've all got sense enough to know that anything like that that's done by politicians, whatever politicians they are, whether they're Republicans or Democrats, they're going to get just the stuff that they want to try to make people think what they want them to think. And if we don't know all the other emails that fit in around the ones we heard, we really don't know how to come to any kind of decision on what they mean or what they don't mean. So, folks, let's wait until we have all the information before we return a verdict. All right, emailer. I think that's sound reasoning, I would say. Ken, I went through the intersection of Glovenia and Early again today, and it's still a four-way stop. I think that's one of the dumbest things that they've ever done, to have a stoplight right there, like the man said last night, and have it just hanging up there with a funeral curtain, over it, and not doing anything. If they're going to have the light hanging there, why in the heck, we'll say, don't they fix it? I'm getting tired of that four-way stop. And feel free to pass this along to the city of Eden. Oh, all right, maybe I will. Maybe I will pass this along to the city of Eden. Maybe. Let's see. Here's an email here. It says, Ken, why is it that Mr. Draper does not call? I know it's his own business if he wants to call or not call, but if he's sending emails, I wish he'd call. We miss hearing from Mr. Draper. Well, I'm not Mr. Draper's spokesman, so I'm not going to issue any statement on Mr. Draper's behalf, just for his own reasons. He chooses not to be on the phone right now, and I think we need to just respect that. And no, I'm not going to call him. I'm not going to call him up and surprise him by throwing him on the air. That's not the way that we do things. We do things nicely around here. Can you tell me again, says this emailer, and I know you've done this a couple of times, but I need to have a reminder because I'm 69 years old. Oh, a youngster. I'm 69 years old. What is this special deduction that we get when we do our taxes this time? I have not been able to remember it. Well, it's $6,000, emailer. If you're over 65, you get a $6,000 deduction just for being over 65. And if you have a spouse who is over 65, then the spouse also gets that $6,000 deduction just for being over 65. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it's true. This is when you do your 2025 taxes. So if you and your spouse are both over 65 in total, you get an additional $12,000 deduction. And it's as simple as that. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Let me tell you something about that intersection up there at Early Avenue and Glovenia Street.
Okay.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Why do you think they put a light up there in the first place?
Because
why do you think they put a light up there when they, in the first place, instead of having it a four-way stop?
Because of the traffic volume, I guess, right?
They put a light up there because there's too much traffic at that intersection for a four-way stop. That's why they put a light up there. Don't you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. I understand that. That's why they put a light there.
But they put that light up there in probably 1950.
I don't know.
You think there's any less traffic at that intersection now than there was in 1950? You think the traffic has got less since 1950?
No, ma'am. I don't think it's got less since 1950.
Well, how long does it take to fix a stoplight?
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff inside a stoplight that can break. I don't know how long it takes. Depends.
That light's been out for 6 months.
Well, 3
over
months.
there.
Been out for 3 months.
Why? I don't care if it's 3 months. Nobody that works for the city of Eden in 3 months can go over there and fix that light. I don't believe that.
Well, I can't speak directly to that, and I won't. Why don't you call the city? I think you might have more luck getting your point across on the phone than anybody else I know. Why don't you call the city tomorrow? Why don't you? Hello? Hello? All right. I mean, maybe she's calling the city right now. Maybe Mayor Neville Hall's phone is ringing, even as we speak. And maybe he'll drive over there himself tonight and work on that light. Get one of those hard hats with a headlight on it. He can stop by Dollar General and buy a screwdriver and just run on over there and fix that light. And thanks for calling, ma'am. Thanks for calling. Here's a different email. This one says, Ken, what are all of the conditions of the plan to reopen the government? I know they're supposed to vote on the affordable health care subsidies, but there's more in there too. Can you tell us what the rest of it is? Yeah, if I can find my piece of paper, I can. Hang on. Hang on a second while I shuffle some papers. All right, now here's what else is in there. It is, as you know, it's a temporary funding extension. It provides, it's a continuing resolution. It goes through January 30th, and then it ends. And then, you know what we do then? Then we argue about how we will fund the government starting on January 31st. But that's that. It includes back pay for federal work. All the federal workers who didn't get paid, they will get their back pay. It says that. It reverses the layoffs. President Trump laid off, I'm not sure exactly what the number was, a good number of federal employees that he said, well, we'll lay you off. You don't have jobs anymore. This bill reverses those layoffs, and it puts those people back to work. The people who were laid off are not laid off once this becomes law. It has full year funding. In general, the funding only goes through January 30th, but it has full year funding for some government agencies, and that would be the Department of Agriculture, Veterans Affairs, Military Construction, and the legislative agencies. All are guaranteed full funding through September of 2026. As you already know, it guarantees full SNAP funding through September of 2026. That's even if the government shuts down again after January 30th. This says that SNAP will continue to be fully funded through September of 26. It has that promise. It's not a guarantee. It's a promise of a future vote on whether to extend the Affordable Care Act premium credits. But that's not in it. I think it's worth noting, that's not written into the law. That's something the Republicans said, yeah, we promise we'll do it, but it's not in writing. So we can watch for that. What else? It says there will be no border wall funding during the life of this agreement. So no funding for the border wall, at least until January 30th of next year. And then the last thing is there were 8 senators, five plus 3, 8 senators, all Republicans. You may recall had their telephone information accessed, their phone records were accessed by the FBI as part of the investigation into the January 6, 2021 Capitol riots. And this bill allows those 8 senators to sue the Justice Department for damages if the data was obtained illegally. In particular, if it was obtained without notification. I don't know how many of the 8 senators that would apply to. Maybe all of them, I don't know. But however many of them there are to which that would apply, this bill allows them to sue the Justice Department for damages. So as far as I know, that's what's in the bill. There might be some fine print in there that we haven't noticed. Sometimes in government documents, there is some fine print that you don't notice. But if it's there, I haven't noticed it, which of course is why they make it in fine print. So there's that one. We have another 8 or 9 minutes for your phone calls and emails. The phone line is open right up there. You can give us a call at that number. You can also send us an email at keneckleslive@gmail.com. Ken, can you give us the information again on that stew in Ridgeway? Yes, it's on December 6th. And there's not a phone number with this. There isn't a phone number I can give you to call, but you can pick up the stew December 6th. It's $10 a quart, and the location is 39 Knight Road, which is just south of Ridgeway, 39 Knight Road. It's off the old Leaksville Road. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you heard anything about us getting a stimulus check?
Well, yeah, I've heard a whole lot about getting a stimulus check. There's nothing official about it yet, but they've talked about in Washington giving everybody anywhere. Sometimes they say $600, sometimes they say $3,000. So they haven't settled on an amount yet, but they are talking about it, but there's no definite plan yet.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you for calling. No definite plan on the stimulus check. Might get it, might not. Anyway, as for the stew, just look in your phone when you're ready to go, and look for 39 Knight Drive. I can tell you if you're leaving from Eden, and you're on, going to Ridgeway, 1487, going to Ridgeway. Just after you cross the state line, you know where that big warehouse thing is. If you're going north toward Ridgeway, there's a huge warehouse place that'll be on your left after you cross the state line. And not long after you pass those warehouses, you can take a right onto the old Leaksville Road. And the old Leaksville Road will take you right up to where Knight Road is. Knight Road is where the stew is, and Knight Road, that's Knight, Knight Road, intersects the old Leaksville Road, just maybe a mile or two outside of Ridgeway. So you can get there like that, or you can look in your phone and get a different way to get there. But it's December 6th. It is from noon to 2. It's $10 a quart. And important to note, it's a benefit. It's a benefit to help a lady named Pam Chilton, who recently lost her husband, and she's been left with apparently a whole lot of bills to pay. If you want some stew that day and you'd like to help her out, then bear that in mind, and we'll keep you reminded of it. We'll mention it again several times between now and the 6th of December. Ken, are you listening to me? Well, kind of. That lady who called, was she the same lady who's trying to get a traffic light hung on 14 over there at the Mebane Bridge Road? I think that's the same lady. Has anything ever happened on getting a light out there on 14? No, I don't. It may have been the same lady. I don't know. It could have been. No, I don't think anything has happened as far as getting a light hung out there on 14 at the Mebane Bridge Road. She was going to call. Well, she did call. I think she said she did call the State Department of Transportation, and they told her to call the district engineer. And then she said, why should she have to call the district? Why should she have to call the district engineer? She said she told the Department of Motor Vehicles, well, he works for you, why don't you call him? And she didn't want to call. I don't know if she ever called the district engineer or not, but I do know that I haven't heard anything more about getting a stoplight on Highway 14 at the Mebane Bridge Road. And as far as one that hangs out there at Early Street and Early Avenue and Glovenia Street, that one's going to go ahead and hang a while longer without working. Ken, I heard today on YouTube. Oh gosh, heard it on YouTube. I heard today on YouTube that big comet thing is disintegrating, and that if it disintegrates, the pieces of it might fly off in all directions. And what if one hits Earth? Well, what if one does? You know, I don't know if it's disintegrating or not. I didn't see that or hear that on YouTube, so I don't know about whether it's disintegrating. But think about this: the thing is going so fast. It's going so fast, as we have been told, that it's too fast even for the sun's gravity to capture it. So even if it breaks up into two pieces or three pieces or 342 pieces or whatever it does, all those pieces are still going to be going at the same speed. They're not going to suddenly slow down. So it would still be going at that same speed, which is, I don't remember the exact speed. It's a whole lot of kilometers per second that it's going at. So they would still all be going too fast to be captured by the sun's gravity. So then I don't see any physical mechanism, any cosmological mechanism that would cause a piece of that to suddenly change directions and make like a right turn toward the Earth. I don't believe that would happen, and I don't know how that would happen or could happen, because it's what they call 1.8 million astronomical units is the closest that it's going to get to Earth. No, that's wrong. 1.8 not a million, 1.8 astronomical units is the closest that it's going to get to Earth. And an astronomical unit it's pretty far. It's like 93 million miles is an astronomical unit. So 1.8 of those is going to be 160 some million miles. Like it's way on the other side of the sun. So it's not really that close to Earth. So I think it's highly unlikely that it or even a piece of it would somehow hit Earth. Now, if you want to be on the safe side, then don't go out without an umbrella for the next little while. But I don't think you really have to worry about it. And what was the other question? Oh, what if one did hit Earth? Well, it would depend on how big it was, and but it's not going to. So let's not worry about. We got plenty of other stuff to worry about without worrying about that. So why don't we just worry about the other stuff? And 31 Atlas will do what it does. And that is all the time we have for Star Talk tonight. We're on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I hope you'll join us next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Echols.